Fentanyl is helping to fuel the heroin epidemic in the United States, but it is also posing a global threat. Yesterday, the United Nations Commission on Narcotic Drugs voted to control two chemicals that are used to make fentanyl. And Focus reporter Mallory Safaste looks into the impact that could have right here in our state.
Kelly, the heroin problem has hit a lot of people in the state, but it goes way beyond our borders. This epidemic is also being discussed more than 4,000 miles away.
To respond to emergencies.
Earlier this month, Governor Larry Hogan declared a state of emergency in response to the heroin epidemic.
There are now estimated to be 27 million heroin users across the country. Heroin and opioid-related deaths have doubled in the last year in our state.
And in the last year, fentanyl-related deaths have nearly quadrupled.
The reality is that this threat has rapidly escalated with the introduction of fentanyl.
That reality is also being recognized by world leaders.
As goes the United States, so goes the world. So when people are starting to die of fentanyl-related and opioid-related deaths, it's just a matter of time that these other countries are going to start seeing that also.
But not enough.
The nearly 200 countries that make up the UN are taking action. On Thursday, the United Nations Commission on Narcotic Drugs voted to establish controls over two chemicals used to make fentanyl and a fentanyl-like substance.
What they're going to do is be able to regulate and monitor who makes these drugs and where they're being shipped to.
Adding them to an international list of controlled substances means there will be closer monitoring of any suspicious orders or illegal activity. Restrictions on the three chemicals already exist in the U.S.
They have to go through DEA to show how much they are making, where they're shipping it to, who are they delivering it to, and so there's an auditing process, and that'll be the same thing.
Hopefully cutting down on the shipments of fentanyl and fentanyl precursors entering the country and Maryland.
Someone can go online and order fentanyl from China using their address and using a credit card or money order and purchase it from China, and then it's shipped here via whether it's UPS, DHL, or the U.S. Postal Service. And so there's so many millions of packages that are in the air at any given moment, it's virtually impossible for us to track every one.
Another wrinkle, fentanyl isn't easily detected.
Fentanyl is very hard to detect. You can't smell it, you can't taste it, and drug dogs can't detect it either.
Like you heard, China is a big exporter of fentanyl to the U.S. To better crack down on the drug trade, China scheduled controls against 4 fentanyl-class substances. That was part of a collaboration between the DEA and government of China. It took effect at the beginning of this month.